So that's what that's about, and it's a great law that was passed. Jennifer, you want to get anything else you want us to add to that?
The law enforcement community in Texas has been so welcoming ever since we began the Driving with Autism initiative, which began because I had a son with autism who was about to drive. Go figure. That's how it works. So really there's three different elements to the Driving with Autism initiative. One is the communication impediment with the peace officer option as a restriction code on the driver's license or the state ID. And that now is in driver's license offices across the state of Texas, alerting the public in both Spanish and English that what does it look like, what does autism look like, and you can drive, but what are the challenges and how to get this code on your driver's license or state ID. The second is the training, as is witnessed here today. Training is very important for law enforcement to be able to understand what all constitutes a communication impediment. Well, it's not just autism, it's Asperger's syndrome, it's mild intellectual disability, Parkinson's, and post-traumatic stress, and also deafness and hard of hearing. So that's quite a bundle to put under there. So training is essential, and while there's a lot of grassroots training, the second part of the initiative is to place the training in the statewide system called TCOIL, and that is where all law enforcement goes to update and continually get their education. So education is second. And the third element is the Samuel Allen Law, which recently passed in the 86th Texas legislative session. The Samuel Allen Law, as Chief McManus had referred to, is an option that a person can have to place that communication impediment when registering their vehicle with the Texas Department of Motor Vehicles. When they do so, then that restriction goes into what's called the TLETS, which is just a statewide telecommunication system by which when an officer pulls you over and they put in your license plate in their, am I doing this right? They put in their license plate number, and it typically shows whether a license, if the vehicle's been stolen or not. But what this does is show that communication impediment pops up in red. So the officer is alerted prior to approaching the vehicle in a pullover scenario. So those are the three elements to it. The great thing also about the Samuel Allen Law is not just the option to do this, which would make communication much more effective by arming the officer with the information of the disability, but also it can keep a person free from public scrutiny. A lot of times bumper stickers or ID cards can be misconstrued, and let's say an officer pulls you over and my son has hidden this little ID card, and the officer says, I'd like to see your license and your vehicle registration. So they do that, but then they start to reach in their backpack and the officer thinks, whoa, wait a minute, that could be a gun. So that's where a lot of challenges happen, and that was why the Samuel Allen Law is so great. In addition to that, my son never wanted to be identified by a bumper sticker, because those middle school age bullies grow up oftentimes to be grown-up bullies. And so sometimes you have some public that could take that and prey upon those people. So the Samuel Allen Law is taking effect now. It was effective September 1st. I know that the Department of Motor Vehicles had said you do not have to wait until your license, till your vehicle needs to be renewed to have this. You can go ahead and get the form online. And so we're very, very excited in the state of Texas.
I was just going to ask, what was the